Hey everyone, I am Phantom Dan, and this is my comic collective. I have Adam Baum here, and this is Ross. I thought I would do a new segment on my channel, just talking about different events and maybe what's going on in comics and stuff, and just different topics. Today we're going to be talking about just stuff that we're reading. He's reading a lot of current stuff, and both of us are just going to be recommending something that we both just different things we're reading.
Yeah.
Due to one of us being camera shy, Adam will be going first.
Alright, so lately I've been reading Ash vs. the Army of Darkness. It's a great comic book. It's done by Chad Bowers, Chris Sims. The artwork is fantastic. If you love The Evil Dead, it fits right in there. It's a very silly kind of horror. They don't hold back on the gore or anything. They keep putting Ash in really silly situations.
I really like the Saturday morning cartoon type of aesthetic.
Yeah, it's very extreme, over the top expressions and stuff.
That's actually some of my favorite type of artwork.
Another cool thing about it is
you realize I'm gonna just edit covers on here so that they'll be able to see the covers. Okay.
Yeah,
you can do that too.
just getting an up thing. So, like I was saying, Ash is a substitute teacher, so it's just they put him in that, and he's not even teaching. He's just talking about him fighting the Evil Dead to students that just don't care. So that's a really good one. Another one is a classic, Dark Victory, Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale. Some of the best ink artwork I've ever seen. It's a great story. If you love Batman and you haven't read it, check it out. Especially for all the Robin haters, this is one of the best comic books ever written to show Robin as an important part of the Bat family. It is Dick Grayson as Robin. So yeah, awesome stuff.
I will add to that it is a direct sequel to Long Halloween, so personally, if you liked reading things in order, I would read Long Halloween first. And if you really like reading things in order, read Year One, then that, because a lot of the characters from Year One carry over to the Long Halloween and Dark Victory.
Yeah, it's a good trilogy, but out of all three of them, this one's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's a very good.
It's got great action, but it also has really good just dialogue and and some really great moments. So
is it directly after Long Halloween, or
yes,
is
it's after.
So it takes place after that whole fiasco.
It's the next
if you haven't read Long Halloween, please do yourself a favor and read that. Yeah. No spoilers, and that's the thing too, is I don't really want to give out spoilers on this one, but
Alfred is the holiday killer.
Yeah, he is. Sadistic son of a gun.
Alright, Ross, you ready?
Well, that'll bring me back over to me. Take two. I'm doing more current things at the moment, and I just wanted to highlight my probably two favorite Marvel books currently are the Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky, and the Punisher run by Jason Aaronz, and I'm not good with the artist's name. It's Saiz. I'm probably butchering that. I apologize. But these are two stories going in tandem. Really, I think of them as almost yin and yang, where Daredevil is really kind of gone off the hinges when it comes to his vigilantism and kind of making his own making his own team of criminals, trying to turn them good, and then trying to take this force against the Hand. And of course, Daredevil's force is called the Fist. And towards the later issues, I'm currently on issue 7. I think in the run they're on 10 or 11 right now, something like that. But currently, I feel Matt Murdock is starting to go off the hinges a little bit. He's starting to seem like he's just going a little crazy. And I really there's a new character that Chip Zdarsky introduced, I don't know, it's probably 50 issues ago at this point, but Cole North is a detective in here that's a really great new character. And then to kind of piggyback off of that, Punisher is basically has become the dark version of Matt Murdock. He has become the beast that the Hand has foretold.
So wait,
yes,
he's becoming darker and more unhinged.
Yeah.
And yet he's even darker and more unhingier.
And I will say in the later issues, though, Frank Castle is starting to kind of like get a little disillusioned by the Hand. Yeah. So the whole reason Frank Castle is even a part of the Hand right now is because his love, who has been dead for I don't know how long, has been revived by the Hand. I don't know if you guys have read any Daredevil or seen the shows, but the Hand has the ability to reincarnate people, and they reincarnate. And her name is escaping me actually. Frank Castle's wife. Someone
Mrs.
in the comments. Mrs. Castle. Someone in the comments, please remind me. They revive Frank Castle's wife, and he feels indebted to the Hand. Also, he is being fed this prophecy of him being this like beast reborn, basically, and it's just a really fascinating take on the Punisher, and the art in here is just fantastic. I absolutely love this. I was never really a huge Punisher fan up until this run, to be perfectly honest with you, but now I just want to eat up everything Frank Castle. So yeah, if you're
not sure he knows that.
Yeah, right. I love you, Frank. No, okay. If you guys are reading any Marvel recently, Daredevil, Punisher, definitely check these out. These are a great read for sure.
There you go.
So, there we go. Daniel?
What about, did you have Darkwing Duck?
Oh, I did have a couple other ones. I wasn't sure if we were going to have time for these.
Yeah, we have more than enough time. I actually thought this was going to be about 15-20 minutes long, and we're only at 6 minutes.
So, yeah, I got a couple other kind of current stuff that I'm reading. If you guys are familiar with Dynamite, they've been doing some like Disney classics. So there's like Gargoyles going on. I think they just released.
I know they're
Scar.
for Red Sonja.
Yeah, they do Red Sonja and all those movies.
They also do the Ash vs. the Army of Darkness.
Oh, there we go.
Dynamite kicks that.
Yeah,
Dynamite's killing it.
Dynamite is killing it right now. I really, but out of all the Disney stuff that they've been doing, Darkwing Duck is definitely my favorite. I mean, to be honest, this was also a little nostalgia for me as well. I remember like when I was like 10 years old, 8 years old, like this was something me and my grandpa used to watch like after school and stuff like that. So definitely near and dear to my heart for sure. So when they started putting these out, I definitely started scooping these up, and it feels like you're just watching one of the Saturday cartoons.
That's actually my favorite
comic form.
That's like my favorite way to read comics is a comic that feels like you're watching something.
Yeah. No, it's
that, when it's that engaging that you just keep wanting to flip the pages and you feel like you're watching an episode of a show or something.
No,
that is my favorite way to enjoy a comic, when it feels like that.
Yeah, it does not feel like a tough read at all. Like, dialogue, I feel like there's just enough dialogue, like it's not overly wordy or anything like that, and the artwork feels just like one of the original cartoons. So, yeah,
awesome.
Darkwing Duck, for sure. I'm on, I just finished issue 3. I think they're on like 4 or 5 right now, so I'm just a little behind at the moment, because I just got a new house recently, so there we go. Had to plug that plug in there. But, yeah, Darkwing Duck, great one. And then just one last little honorable mention. I personally just finally finished Geiger. It's the miniseries by Jeff Johns. I know you guys are a big fan of Jeff Johns.
I am a gigantic Jeff Johns fan.
And this has been one of his new like Image superhero property. He's expanding the universe with something called Junkyard Joe as well, and there's a number of other titles I think he's announced for the future. But Geiger finished. I think
does
this
that mean
finished
he's
like
not writing for DC anymore?
No, he's still doing DC stuff. He was doing. I think he just finished a Stargirl
He
miniseries.
writes like 10 titles a month.
Yeah,
he writes way like. I don't think that dude sleeps.
I heard somebody else mention this like online some more, but they were saying Jeff Johns is kind of like in a writing renaissance again right now. Like
That's
he's
awesome.
just because I don't think he's doing any movie work currently.
Yeah,
so
it's
he's just
good.
been like
I mean,
doing
like,
total.
I like it when he
stuff.
focuses on comics.
Yeah.
Like, during the New 52, he was writing like half the titles, and that was
was
like,
he really?
He was writing. He was writing Green Lantern.
Yeah.
He was writing The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
He was writing. Actually, I don't know if he wrote New 52 Flash, but he wrote like The Flash right before New 52.
Oh wow.
He was writing that. He was writing Green Lantern. He was writing Justice League. He was writing Vibe, and he was writing Aquaman.
Yeah.
And I think maybe 1 or 2 other titles.
Yeah.
The dude was writing his shit.
That is
like
prolific.
just so much. Yeah,
awesome.
the dude was. I don't think the dude slept. He just wrote.
That's awesome.
Probably in his sleep.
Yeah.
He was writing.
Yeah.
No, he is definitely a grade A talent for sure. I'm a big Jeff Johns fan. So, have you guys checked out Geiger by chance?
I have not. I haven't been reading any current titles except for Ghost Rider.
Oh, really? No, I really like it. Kind of has that like 1950s-ish vibe with like that nuclear kind of style.
Start reading more comics again. I've been most of the comics I read are like 10 to 20 years old.
Yeah, this is a really good one. And it's a very tragic story with the backstory of Geiger's like wife and children, and yeah, there's just some really cool action, very good artwork.
I don't think you can have a main character in a comic book that doesn't have a tragic backstory.
I mean, yeah.
People don't buy it.
I mean,
they're like, that's bullshit. Someone died in that guy's life.
Darkwing Duck seems to have a pretty good back life, I will say. Yeah. He doesn't have too many.
I mean, Bruce Wayne does. I mean, he has like billions of dollars. Who cares what happened to him?
Well, I mean, let's be real here. You got like some of the best artists in the world that are drawing these things. Make them draw something really dramatic and like stick with people, you know. Make it tragedy. Make them dead in the alleyway.
We want to see your pain.
That's why we keep going back to Bruce Wayne's parents just being shot in the alleyway. Why? Yeah. Because that image just looks so good on paper. I think.
I mean,
depending on who's drawing it.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's a selling point. I mean,
it is. That's very true.
We want to get our violence.
This is America. But that's what I got. That's what I've been reading recently. That's what I recommend for you all lovely internet people out there. So,
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
I guess that's my turn.
Yeah. What do you got, Daniel? So
this is all. It's not technically one run, but it's all one giant story. It starts in I'm a big X-Men fan. Like, I know this is mostly kind of a Ghost Rider channel at the moment. But I do want to branch out, and I'm going to edit the covers, like, right next to the... Okay. I'm going to edit the covers, so you don't need to do that. Alright? Well, I guess you can do that.
There you go.
But anyways, okay, so I'm a big X-Men fan, and I haven't read anything current. The last stuff I read in X-Men was probably, like, X-Men vs. Avengers. Mm-hmm. And I hated how it ended, so I kind of stopped reading X-Men at the time. Well, I could go into a whole rant on why I
that's
hate
why we're
X-Men
here.
versus Avengers. Okay, I just a little tidbit. The reason I hate X-Men vs. Avengers is it came out the exact same summer that the Avengers movie was coming out. And the way I looked at it is Marvel doesn't like... At the time, Marvel was kind of pissed for Fox owning X-Men and Fantastic Four, so they canceled Fantastic Four for the first time ever. You remember when they did that, right? They actually canceled Fantastic Four because they felt like they were giving free advertising to Fox for their Fantastic Four movies and stuff. That's what I heard. Yeah. Okay, I wasn't in the boardroom. I wasn't there, but that's what it sounds like. They were very bitter.
Yeah.
And they were also very bitter with X-Men and the mutants and stuff because So when they did X-Men versus Avengers, I was really worried. I was excited and worried because it was going to be very, very biased towards Avengers since they were having an Avengers movie coming out. Yeah. So I felt like they're probably going to make the Avengers look way better than the X-Men. And I am a little biased. I don't really care for the Avengers in comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am much more an X-Men fan. I've always loved the X-Men. Thank you, 90s X-Men cartoon series. That probably is what brainwashed me, but also X-Men Evolution. They've actually never had a bad cartoon series, because even if you go back and watch Pride of the X-Men, that special, the voice acting was a little iffy because they had an Australian Wolverine, which is ironic because Hugh Jackman ended up playing Wolverine.
Wait, is Hugh Jackman Australian?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman is Australian.
Rocky.
But it's just kind of funny, like, they've never had a bad animated series. Anyways, I'm getting off tangent again from the other off tangent thing I was on.
Yeah.
But no,
this will be a recurring theme if you guys tune in for multiple episodes, I'm sure. So.
But I really, really, really hate how X-Men vs. Avengers ended, so I actually stopped reading X-Men probably right after that. Mm-hmm. I did read some more Cable stuff, because Cable is actually my favorite X-Men character.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going back, circling back around to this. After House of M, there was Wanda. You know who Wanda is?
Wanda Vision.
Wanda Maximoff.
Yes.
Yeah. She has like this chaos magic type shit, and she uttered the phrase "No more mutants." And when that happened, like 90% of the mutant population was wiped out. Mm-hmm. So there was only a handful of mutants left on the entire planet. I think around 200.
Yeah.
And so they were becoming an endangered species, and there was all this other crazy shit going on. So for like 2 years, there was no more mutant births on the entire planet.
Oh, wow.
And then out of nowhere, a mutant is born, and when that happens, Cerebro senses it and blows up.
Oh, shit.
It's some crazy shit. Yeah.
That's fun.
So the X-Men are on their way to go to this hospital in Alaska to find out what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's this group of mutant-hating human douchebags that also are on their way there. And at the same time, Mr. Sinister has a group of martyrs that are going there to basically take the child to basically raise it as their own, kind of make it an evil little bitch. You know, but the humans get there first, and they literally kill every baby in the hospital.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Some hardcore shit. They literally wipe out everyone.
Yeah.
So they're the first people there. The martyrs are the second. Of course, the X-Men are the last to show up. And the hospital's on fire. It's all tragic and horrible. And they're wondering who got there first.
Yeah.
The X-Men have no idea. It could have been the martyrs. Or it could be... I think they're called the purifiers. The humans. Because they're trying to be all pure and bullshit.
I want to be pure.
yeah, something like that.
I just want to be pure.
So I think they got there first. I can't remember. I haven't read this in years, but it's one of my favorite titles. I've read it twice. I read this whole run twice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, so I will spoil a little bit of this because it sets up this whole thing. Is you find out who got to the baby first was Cable, who at the time everyone thought was dead. You know, comic book characters die and come back all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do they?
So Cable is the one who actually got to the baby first.
Yeah.
And he's alone. He is alone being tracked by everyone. The humans are trying to get to him, the martyrs are trying to get to him, and the X-Men are trying to get to him.
Hey, wait, who is the baby again?
The baby, it's the first mutant baby born in 2 years. I will get to her name later.
I thought you were going to say it was like Baby Cable or something like that.
No,
Cable's saving himself.
Cable saved the baby.
Yeah.
And so he's on the run. And also another thing is after him. There's this monster creature thing that's on 4 legs that actually eats mutants.
Okay.
Like for their genetic, like it lives off their genetic code or something. I don't know for sure. But it's this crazy 4-legged...
Is it like a deviant?
I'll put like a little picture of what the monster looks like when I edit this. But yeah, so it's a crazy little monster that like eats mutants. It's really crazy.
So is that thing, is the monster itself a mutant that just feeds on it, or...
I might do a little Wikipedia after this. I don't see it. The funny thing is, I hadn't actually been reading a much current X-Men at the time of this.
Yeah.
But this, I was told Cable was in it, and I'm a huge Cable fan, and he had been dead for a while. So this kind of got me to read it. I was like, oh shit, it's Cable's one of the main characters.
Yeah.
So after I read this, I thought it was the most awesome fucking thing I'd ever read. So I didn't know much of the stuff that was carrying over into this, so I didn't know what the monster was, and I didn't know a lot of that other shit.
Sure.
But it got me to read it, and you don't have to have too much prior knowledge. Plus, if you get the right graphic novel, they have a little introduction and stuff to say, hey, this is what happened before.
Right.
Kind of catches you up on what's going on.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to have too much prior knowledge to read this. And as long as you know who the X-Men are, do you know who Cyclops is? Do you know who Wolverine is?
Yeah.
Do you know who Emma Frost is? You know, she's,
Your
Wolverine?
typical X-Men.
Your typical X-Men. I will say that Emma Frost is a home wrecker. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh. Shots fired.
I'm not a big Emma Frost
That's not
fan.
an illusion either.
But anyways, so the crazy thing about that is Cable gets the baby, and everyone's closing in, and Cyclops meets up with Cable, and if you guys know, Cyclops is technically Cable's father.
Yes, I'm aware.
And basically, Cyclops allows Cable to take the baby into the future to keep the baby safe.
Oh, gotcha.
So he travels to the future. There is one person after him that also wants the baby dead, which we did not realize. It's a little bit of a spoiler for my Cyclops. I still recommend reading it, but it sets up all of this. There is another person who we thought was one of the X-Men on our side, Bishop. And the reason Cable thinks this baby being born is like a savior going to bring about the new mutants, and stuff like that. He sees her as a second chance for mutant kind.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Bishop wants the baby dead because in his future, from what he was told, is the baby will bring about the mutant apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
And, is responsible for his horrible future.
Yeah.
So he wants to kill the baby
Is
Cable wants to
Bishop
save
and
the
Cable both from the future?
Yeah, they're from different futures.
Oh.
He's from like
Okay.
200 years in the future. Bishop's like 200 years in the future. Cable's like 1,000 years in the future.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So they're both from different futures. Cable's is a little farther ahead.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, anyways, so Cable gets...
Wait, okay, sorry, okay, now I'm just saying, if Cable's future is 1,000 years in the future, how old was Cyclops when he had Cable as a child? How old is Cable then?
So this is some more backstory. X-Men's very complicated. Okay, so Cyclops and Madeline Pryor had Cable, baby Nathan Summers, and his birth was kind of manipulated by Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister had been studying Cyclops and Jean Grey's lineage for years and figured if Cyclops and Jean Grey were to get together, they would have the perfect, most powerful mutant child.
Oh, wow.
Through genetics. That's what he realized. And if you guys know Mr. Sinister, he works for Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And as much as he, doesn't mind the perks and the job benefits of working for Apocalypse, he still wants to have an ace in the hole if Apocalypse ever betrays him so he can kill Apocalypse.
Yeah, of course.
And he figured by creating this ultimate mutant, this mutant would be powerful enough to kill Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So he manipulated their lives to where they would meet up and fall in love and have a kid together. But, problem, Jean Grey died.
Yeah.
Because of the Phoenix. So he had cloned Jean Grey and created this chick, Madeline Pryor.
Yeah.
Madeline Pryor ends up
she's a clone?
She's a clone of Jean Grey. Comic book shit. Okay, so the backstory is pretty complicated. But anyways, they end up getting together, having the child. Apocalypse finds out about all this, gets pissed. And he ends up infecting the child with this thing called the techno-organic virus. It's basically like this technology that consumes and kills you. And so infecting this little baby, no one in our time could do anything about it. Yeah. But another one of Cyclops' kids from the future,
kind of
Rachel
Summers,
comes back from the future.
Yeah.
And says that in her time they have the ability to save Cable. So they take him into the future, and he's raised in the future, 1,000 years in the future. And he's raised by this tribe to basically be the destroyer of Apocalypse.
So he's from for us in the current day.
He was born in present day.
He's born in present day and then taken to a far future.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and that's the cool thing is, for the longest time when Cable comes back, nobody knows who he is. They just see him as this badass time traveler with a robotic arm. Yeah. And they don't realize that he is the most powerful. He's one of the most powerful. I don't really care about power scaling. I've never been a fan.
Is he Omega level?
I don't know. I don't give a shit. But he's very powerful, and but he uses all of his power to basically block the techno-organic virus from consuming him and killing him.
That's cool.
So that's why he has that metal arm. That's all the TO virus. It's all in his arm, and he's keeping it at bay to keep him from dying. So all of his powers are using that. So he's not actually that powerful because all of his powers go into that. If you were to use his powers, it could keep him from focusing on this, and that could consume and kill him.
Kind of makes me think of Darth Vader a little bit, like being in the suit and everything. Like
that.
Just the force to keep himself alive. So
basically.
Very cool.
That's badass.
So, anyways, back to the story. So Bishop's after this kid. He's after this kid. Cable goes into the future. Not far behind is Bishop.
Yeah.
So this series, this Cable series, is basically about Cable going into the future, Bishop following.
Yeah.
And a huge thing happens in their very first battle. I love how in Cable's trying to protect this child. Again, I will do little edits of the covers.
I'm gonna do it, Dan. I'm gonna show the camera. So you just...
But anyways, so he's trying to keep this kid alive, and at the same time, Bishop's after him. In their first battle, Bishop damages Cable's time machine. So Cable's time machine can only... I love the artwork. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's very good, actually. I like
the covers look cool, too.
Is this Alex Ross?
No, it's not Alex
Ross. Get out of town.
Ross is obsessed with Alex Ross.
I'm a big fan. I am.
But, so he damages his time device. So the funny thing is, Cable can only go forward. He cannot go back in time. He has to actually get his device fixed before he can come back to the present. Because he did promise Cyclops, once everything was safe, that he would bring the baby back.
Oh, is this the little... I didn't even notice he had the little baby on his...
The glare.
Yeah. The little baby right there.
Little baby holder on his chest.
Yeah. So Bishop can go back and forth in time. Cable can only go forward.
Right.
Damn, that guy's arm.
Yeah.
That thing is huge.
Something happened to him that he's got the
Yeah.
So anyways,
It's like that M. Night Shyamalan movie. Did anybody watch that? It was like the one guy with one giant arm.
But what I like about this
I think we all know
what I
what
like
he was
about this series is this whole series. It's 4 volumes long. Along with in the middle of the 4 volumes, it's Cable Volume 1 and 2 by Straczynski. I don't know how to pronounce his name. And in the middle of it, there's another
Links in the
X-Force.
description.
There's an X-Force Cable crossover comic called Messiah War, where by the way, I'm probably going to put in the info for this video
Area.
in the description area. I'm probably going to put a list of everything we've recommended.
Future editing.
So if you guys want to check out any of the stuff we've recommended here, in the description we will have all that stuff.
Yeah.
List it out.
But so halfway through the series is a crossover X-Force Cable Messiah War, and the baby's grown up a little bit, which I love. Yeah, she's a little bit older.
Her
name's
Wendy.
Her name's her name is Hope Summers.
Hope Summers. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Named after Cable, Nathan Summers, Hope Summers. But then there's 2 more volumes, Stranded and Homecoming, and at the end of Homecoming they come back to the present, and that's what Second Coming is about, is them making it back to the present.
So we get to spend some time in the future next.
You get to watch him.
Cool.
You get to watch Cable raise this mutant messiah in the future, and it's a really good series.
That sounds cool.
It's basically time traveling Solid Snake, because he's a badass soldier. Time traveling Solid Snake raising a child in the future, in a desolate post-apocalyptic future.
All right.
And bringing her back to the present when she's like 16, 17, 18, somewhere around there.
That sounds.
And
badass.
you said this all this
really
starts with
series.
Which one?
It starts with Messiah Complex, which is this. Again, I'll have a thing.
Yeah.
It goes from Messiah Complex
number 1
to Cable,
number 2,
Volume 1, which is called. I think that one's also called Messiah War.
Messiah War.
Yeah. And then Volume 2 of that is Waiting on the End of the World. I think.
Part 3.
Is that what it's called? Waiting on the End.
Yeah,
of the
we're
World?
waiting for the end of the world.
Yeah. And then X-Force Cable, Messiah War.
Part 4.
Yep. And then Stranded, which would be that one. Stranded.
Part 5.
Yeah. And then Homecoming.
Part 6.
Yeah. And then Second Coming.
Last but not least. Part 7.
Yes.
That's quite a story.
That is a story.
It's extremely fun. It's extremely awesome. And
a magnum opus, if you will.
if you, I can recommend later on. If you guys want me, I can go more. Not now. I'm talking about the fans want me to, or whoever's watching. I can go more in depth, and maybe I've been contemplating if I branch out after doing more Ghost Rider stuff.
Yeah.
I might branch out and start doing a thing, retrospective thing on this series.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be done.
So.
Anyways, yeah, that's our first little show. So hope you
First
guys
one in
enjoy.
the can,
If
guys.
you guys like it, let us know. Comment, like and subscribe. But yeah, like and subscribe, comment. Let us know if you like this. If you want more, we might do other discussions about other things dealing with comics.
Yep.
So, yeah. So
awesome.
take it easy. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.